You can see here, I have a whole lot of puzzles going on. Some of them missing some parts, some are not, so we'll definitely be using these in different ways. But this is going to go into my Misfit toys collection, and this video is just going to be pretty much prep. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean it. This is just regular alcohol, rubbing alcohol, 50%. And I'm just going to use regular old paper towel to clean these off to kind of get the little shine. I don't know if you guys can see the shine or not. Right there, perfect. So that's what we're going to do there. And then after that, I'm just going to go ahead, and this actually came in a super huge bottle of gesso, and I've just put it into, you know, a ranch bottle. And then we have a X-Acto knife you guys are going to want for later on to kind of keep these pieces separate and not sticking together. Of course, an everyday paintbrush. I'm going to be using, for my spills, just a regular trash bag. You can parchment paper, basically anything you want to pick up any of the spills. So that is about everything you're going to need for this slot, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Okay guys, and we're back. So we're just going to go ahead and clean off the puzzle pieces. Just using the rubbing alcohol because it dries faster. It also has a less tendency to warp most things. So that's why I use it. Now if you guys know of a better way to clean cardboard, or even to do what I'm doing at any point of the stages, go ahead and definitely leave me a link below or a message below. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. See, just especially when you get like a lot like that, and this just dries really fast. Now before painting this, you do want to make sure it is completely dry. You don't want to get any stucco guys in there. And definitely make sure you guys get the edges, because you will be, yeah, see, just all this extra, I mean, look at that, that's just yuck. And just go in when you find like a little bump like this. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that little dark spot there. Woohoo, I love this camera. This is the first time I'm actually using this camera, so it's super awesome. I'm still learning for it. But if you do come across something like that with anything, basically, just go and circular motions like this. And that usually breaks it up. You do want to make sure that you kind of rotate on which way you're going in the circles, and then also you're not like scraping anything. Like if this was, oh, it's like with that, if this was something important, you would want to like dig into it. And also if it has grains, definitely go with the grain, so you're not ruining anything that is possibly necessary. But since we're going to be painting over all of this, I just want to make sure it's kind of clean. But most of that will be off camera, but I just kind of want to give you guys a view on how to do this. I mean, it's still coming off pretty dirty. Do remember, you might be careful as well to not scratch off any paint that you might want to keep, and do that for all your sides. And do remember, it is alcohol, rubbing alcohol, so you do want to keep bringing this back up. This is going to take a little bit longer. Now you can see how it just absorbs all of that. That's why we're going to do the gesso before we actually paint. This is the back, so I'm most likely not going to do anything with the back sides, but that's still up in arms. Cat's going to have fun with that. Please make sure they don't get a hold of it though, even though they want to. Always safe. I always have like 1 or 2 cats. You're going to see them sometime. Alright, so that's basically what you're going to do. Also, if you notice, most puzzles, at least the old ones like this, do warp. So you want to be careful with that when you're painting or doing anything as well. But yeah, I mean, you really, I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell the difference, but you can see where I've cleaned it off. You could also just like Mod Podge this if you don't have any gesso. I heard Mod Podge would be a great primer. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off the rest of our puzzles and bring it to our next step. See you guys in the next clip. And welcome back, creators. So as you can see, we have these all clean and dry. I didn't get them 100% clean because I am going to be painting over this. I just wanted to make sure that you can just run your hand over and none of the paint is going to actually come off. Right now we're just going to go ahead and primer this. I'm going to just paint it inside the puzzle as is, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go through the creases with the knife once it's completely dry. And then what we'll do when that's dry, which will probably be about give or take overnight, we're just going to go ahead and flip everything over and do the same thing. So this is, yeah, this is, like I said, just gesso. It's 100%. Go ahead and always shake up your bottles no matter how long they're sitting there. Don't want to have that fly out. Now, I usually have a container or something, but okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a CD for a container at this point. Since later on I'm going to try to paint on these anyway. So it doesn't matter how much paint I get on these. Plus they're easy to hold. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and this looks like it's going to need a few coats. So, like I said, I'm going to get inside the crevices. I know it's going to stick, but later on it's going to do what I need to do. Yeah, see, I don't care about the bottom. Do you remember we are painting on cardboard, so it will soak up a lot of this, even though it's covered. But I do not like how it's spreading. So, get my hands dirty, guys. Gotta get your hands dirty. Yeah, the first coat is just going to be pretty messy. And when you do this, kind of go light-handedly. As you can see, it does smear pretty easily. Because I don't want to go too heavy with the paint for the first coat. Because depending on how thick your paint is, also determines how long it takes to dry. Yeah, see, it's just totally streaking. Oh well, we're going to paint that anyway, right guys? You do want to keep it even as you go along. Okay, never forget the corners. Now I'm just sweeping this way along the corners because with cardboard or books or pages, you kind of want to do that and sweep out so that when it curves, you're not actually curving it up towards this way, so you're getting less of a damaged edge. Yeah, see, that's going to look nice when it's completely dry. Okay, so as you can see, this is my coat one for this one. I did just go ahead and paint it into the puzzle. I will go ahead and not mess up my paint job, too bad. Go ahead and take an X-Acto knife, kind of curve these out, make sure they pop out and don't warp. You do want to pay attention to how much paint you do get on this because it will warp, being cardboard. And I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside and start on the other puzzle pieces. And I'll see you guys in the next coating. Bye. And welcome back, guys. As you can see, I have finished doing the first coat of the gesso. It still has a lot of streaks, a lot of open spaces. I know you probably only see a white table at this point, and white fingernails. But this is just the first coat, so it's probably going to need about 2 more, maybe just to even everything out. So we'll definitely see, and then I will go ahead and bring you guys back for the next steps. But this is going to probably need about, I don't know, a few hours to dry completely before I start on the next coat. Or it's just going to smear, and then we're just going to have a whole bunch of lumps. And we don't like lumps when we're painting. So I will see you guys for you and then the next clip, but for me in a few hours. Okay guys, so we are back on our next clip. This is with the first coating. So I'm just going to lift these up and start popping them out. Just kind of easy like so nothing snaps. Oops, see, it's already started to tear. I did not want that to happen. Do remember we have the knife, but just kind of wiggle just a little. So you don't want to break them. Or like this one here is already bent from the first hand. Oops, helps if I go down to see if you guys can see that there. So what I'm trying to do is make it hard enough so it doesn't do that. Oops. Jordan, come on, let's not mess with the camera, babe. Yeah, see, it's kind of getting flaky, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this one with you guys. See, kind of chipping there? So that's what we want to try to avoid. Yeah, it's like you kind of almost don't even see the... There we go. Darn. See, and that's what I was trying not to do. So, as you can see, it is chipping away. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the screen. Or not. So when you do take these apart, you want to be careful with that. So I'm not actually sure. Maybe Mod Podging definitely at the end will help with that. But I'm not sure what we can do to correct it from right this second. Alright, so all of these are apart. Now I'm going to put them back together. And fix the corners. A little glue in there. Or even paint will do. To kind of stick that back on there. Do remember we are going to go along the back sides. We are going to go along the back sides and the sides. So that will also be fixed because what we're going to do is go along the corners like this to kind of flip it under. So yeah. Yay, I get to put a puzzle together. See, how fast can I put this together without messing up too horribly, huh? Nope. None of these are fitting. Goodness gracious. It's like I'm trying to line them up to the to the little pictures here, and I'm like not doing it at all, guys. Watch cats fail putting a puzzle together. There's only 2 corners left, and I cannot put them in. See, like this corner here, we totally lost. Not sure if you guys can focus in on that. We lost all of the edge on that one, so I'm going to have to totally go over that. So I might want to actually do these separately. So that's what I'm going to do with this coat. I'm going to go ahead and just do each one separately. And then we'll meet up on the next clip. Welcome back, guys. So as you can see, what I did here was I actually did 2 different ways. I actually kept the second coat for these 2 just on them without separating the boards. I want to see how it looks and how it feels, if it's any sturdier, if we lose any of the edges. And then what I did here was I just did these, and then what I'll do is I'm going to have to do a 3rd coat for this. So I'll just do these again, and then I'll flip them, and I'll just see you guys in the next clip. But yeah, they're looking really good so far. So, not too bad. You do want to pay attention to any ripples like this. You do want to pay attention to any type of ripples. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that or not. That might come along. You can actually sand those out later on, or just paint over it with your last coat. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. So I have let this dry, and this is just with 2 coats. As you can see, I dorked out, and I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not. But I just let the pieces stay on there, and as you can see, it did leave some indentations. But this is just one coating. I did not do the insides yet, and I did leave the backs undone. So that's just what we have so far. Not too shabby. And they did firm up, but do be careful when you're still taking these apart. They are going to split. I do have a few in here, well, at least 1 or 2. But that's how this looks so far. But I wanted to bring you guys back up because I'm going to be cleaning up and doing the back sides and the inside. I just wanted to show you why I kind of picked the items that I'm using to, like, for this to clean up. Also, if you want to use it for like maybe skins, like this would have turned out really nice if it was a, pour. So I'm just using an everyday scratching sponge. Find these at the dollar store for like 6 in a pack, or even who knows, because I don't have any scratching pads at this moment. And this is just seems like it was just really safe and easy to kind of just remember when you're scrubbing this, do it softly. Because you don't want to tear any of like the fibers, because this is cardboard, so it will come off pretty easy. And then you can just kind of go along the edges and take off any of the phlegm, the leftover pieces that are like inside. And you just kind of go over it really easy. And if you find any like chunks or spots like this, you can just see how easy that comes off. And then you'd have a nice clean surface to start on when you start your painting. So that's the reason I have these guys out. This is just to kind of clean up a little bit of your mess. But like I said, they turn out pretty good. You will have the flakiness. So this is with the coating of 2, and I have not popped these out yet. I have not popped these out yet because I wanted to see how they worked against trying to do them regularly. To kind of give myself an option on how it's actually best to do it. And that's why I left 2 and 2. So that I could play with, because with this one I had a missing piece, so that was great to see how it stuck up, and how much leverage I'm going to have to need for each of my puzzles. So I thought that was really cool. And then the reason I picked this was it's just nice and easy. As you can see, all the little flakes are coming off pretty easy, and it just peels right off. And this is just an everyday trash bag. You find these at the dollar store once again, or you can buy the big boxes, And this is just perfect. If you're doing things like skins or just want an easy pickup, it's great. I mean, just think of, I mean, it does flake off. Just remember this is just plain old gesso, so it's going to be not the best for this. And it was pretty thin. So it wasn't like, you know, I was trying to do a skin or something. So these are great if you just don't want to lose paint. Great cleanup, because what I can do now is fold this inside out. I don't have to worry about the flakes getting all over the carpet, all over the floor, all over my kitchen, dust, or anything like that. So yeah, it's great for many things. And then you just turn it inside out and then flatten it out again, and then you have a clean surface. Or you can just use that bag for your pickup and your trash that we accumulated, you know, along the way. So that's great. So I hope these little tips helped you guys out with this. I'm just going to go ahead and, I mean, you guys pretty much know how to paint a bag. This is not going to need as many coats. I will need to even out, you know, of course, because, you know, I painted the sides. Do make sure when you guys do that, that the sides are still even, because remember, these do need to fit back into a puzzle. But depends on what you guys do plan on using them for. I was actually thinking it would be, while I was doing them, Christmas ornaments. I really never did Christmas ornaments growing up, so that was kind of like interesting to think about. So yeah, I will clean up my mess, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Woohoo! Getting started. Next step is painting the beauties. Alright, bye guys. Oh, I'm a dork. Dork, dork. Dork, dork, dork. And we are at the last step of the puzzles. Can you believe it, guys? Well, I mean, not the last step. We still have to make the puzzles into whatever beautiful pieces they are going to be. So this is one puzzle. This is two puzzles. This is a puzzle inside of a casing, so that's really cool. So it's one of those old-fashioned style. It actually sinks into it, but I have it up a little bit so that it comes out a lot easier. This is one. It's actually one whole piece. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see any of those lines. That will be broken up into its own spot. And then we have these three here. These, same thing with that piece that I just showed you. These have their own little spots, and they fit into the cutout. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Really easy and super fun. I can't wait to actually start designing the Misfit toys for this. You guys let me know what you think, and I'll have this video up for you guys pretty soon. And always remember, happy crafting. Bye guys.